I've always said that the biggest problem with the Nintendo GameCube is that it can't keep a slice of ham at a safe internal temperature. It's a design flaw that's plagued the industry for decades. The GameCube had online adapters, 4 controller ports. It even had a carrying handle. But somehow Nintendo forgot to include even the most basic of refrigeration techniques. Frankly, that's quite embarrassing. For most of gaming history, hardware upgrades were pretty easy to understand. If you wanted better graphics, you bought a better graphics card. If you wanted better sound, you bought a better headset. Maybe a better monitor if you were feeling irresponsible. The important thing was that all of these products had an important connection to playing video games. But then, something changed. Over the last 15 years, gaming slowly stopped being a hobby and started becoming an aesthetic. Companies realized that gamers didn't just want products that played games, they wanted products that made people think they played games. So we got gaming chairs, gaming desks, gaming energy drinks, gaming glasses, and eventually we crossed a line that I'm not entirely convinced we can come back from. Gaming appliances. Yes, gaming refrigerators, gaming toasters, and the strange chain of events that somehow convinced major corporations that what gamers really wanted wasn't better hardware, it was kitchen equipment. Seemingly pointless kitchen equipment. Seemingly pointless gaming equipment that people buy for some reason. Yeah, why are you guys so easy to persuade? Before there was the Xbox mini fridge, and before gaming companies started putting gaming logos on literally everything, there was one product that managed to achieve legendary status despite never existing, the Razer toaster. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Razer, they're primarily known for gaming peripherals. Keyboards, mice, headsets, random-ass lights that you put on your desk. The sort of products you'd expect from a gaming company. Toasters are notably absent from that list. And yet, throughout the early 2010s, fans repeatedly asked Razer CEO Ming Liangtan if the company would ever make one. At first, it seemed like a joke. Then people kept asking, and asking, and asking. Entire Facebook groups formed around the idea. Fans created concept art, mock advertisements, and petitions. What started as a random internet meme slowly evolved into an oddly committed community movement dedicated to convincing a gaming company to enter the breakfast industry. Which raises an important question. Why? What exactly were people expecting from a gaming toaster? Because as far as I can tell, the ideal toaster was invented sometime around the 1920s. You put bread in, it becomes toast, the system works. But apparently that wasn't enough. The proposed Razer toaster would feature the company's signature green branding, RGB lighting, and a design language that suggested your bagel might have opinions about PC gaming. The same branding used by the Steam machine. To be fair, that's what gamers want. Looks pretty much like my first PC. I don't actually own a Razer gaming toaster, notably because nobody in the world does, but I thought I'd make the next best thing. Benchmark results were promising, crispiness was consistent, the latency was low, and the bread rendered correctly. Unfortunately, ray tracing support appears limited. Point my PC. The funniest part about the Razer toaster isn't that people wanted it. It's that companies were paying attention. Because the toaster revealed something important about gaming culture. People weren't just buying gaming products anymore. They were buying identities. And once companies realized that, things got weird pretty quickly. Looking back, the Razer toaster wasn't important because it was a good idea. I mean, it was, but it was important because it proved gamers would happily buy products that had absolutely nothing to do with gaming, as long as they looked gaming adjacent. The toaster never became a mainstream product. The mindset behind it absolutely did. And that means I can sell it on the black market for MSRP. My bread has never been more tactical. 5 stars. Great toast. So is my wallet. 3 stars. Can't wait to game in the shower. 5 stars. Moving forward, in 2020, Xbox released the Xbox Series X. The console itself was well received, but that's not what people immediately started talking about. The shape was. Within hours of the reveal, social media was flooded with the same observation. The Xbox Series X looked like a refrigerator. Not a little bit, a lot. The comparison became unavoidable. There were memes, photoshops, fake appliances, advertisements, and side-by-side images that made Microsoft's next-generation console look suspiciously qualified to store produce. Most companies would have ignored this. Some companies would have been annoyed by it, but only one company was able to add in-app purchases to Minecraft. So naturally, Microsoft embraced it completely. And honestly, I have to respect that level of commitment. You look like, I can't put my finger on it. Lee Harvey Oswald, right? Because instead of arguing with the internet, Microsoft eventually looked at the meme and said, why not? Let's make a fridge. And somehow, that's exactly what happened. The Xbox mini fridge first started as a promotional stunt. Microsoft created a handful of oversized refrigerator versions and sent them to influencers and celebrities. Notably absent was myself. It was a clever marketing move because it accomplished something very rare in advertising. People actually wanted the ad. Instead of asking, why did this company spend money on that? People immediately started asking, where can I buy one? Which is how the Xbox mini fridge went from a joke to an actual consumer product. Hi, I'm Dimp Productions. Did you know that you have rights? Facebook Marketplace says you do. Here in Better Lowball Hall, every seller is innocent until proven delusional. In the case of No Lowballs, I Know What I Got versus Dimp The seller was asking for $150. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you, does this look like 3 crisp Ulysses worth of refrigeration? Your Honor, the defense would like to enter absolutely not into evidence. We're gonna start negotiations at $40, a number I carefully calculated using advanced legal principles. Specifically, I made it up. And now we wait. $100? Objection! That's insane! This case will now be settled out of court. The court finds the Xbox mini fridge guilty of being kinda sick. Holy, wow. Owning the Xbox mini fridge feels kinda like a novelty Christmas sweater. The first time people see it, they love it. Second time they see it, they start to have questions. By the third time they see it, they're concerned. You actually use that thing? Like you give it its own hanger and everything? Now, before we go any further, I want to make something very clear. This is not a review channel. I am not a refrigerator expert. I have no formal training in refrigeration sciences. That's my father. My qualifications begin and end with the fact that I enjoy an ice cold DP from time to time. But after spending some time with this thing, I've developed some thoughts. First of all, the design is fantastic. It's loading, give it a sec. The resemblance to the Xbox Series X is honestly impressive. The matte black finish, the green accents, even the shape itself all do a surprisingly good job recreating the look of the console. It has a green glow that says, I enjoy Halo, but I also enjoy yogurt. The problem is that, unlike the Xbox Series X, this thing has to function as a refrigerator. And that's where things get interesting. I've had friends walk into my room and immediately ask, why? Not, what is that? They understand what it is. They want to know why I allowed this to happen. The storage space is limited. It features a disk drive that only accepts 12-ounce cans. The startup sound is incredible, but the frame rate on this milk is 0 FPS. I've come to the conclusion that the Xbox mini fridge is not really a refrigerator. It's more of a beverage encouragement device. And honestly, that's fine, because no one buys this thing for practical reasons. They buy it because it's funny. And in that regard, it's one of the funniest products Microsoft has ever made. It doesn't blend in. It dominates the room, or the shot. It's not a fridge, it's a statement. One that says, I have no more shelf space for actual games. After extensive testing, I've figured out that the Xbox mini fridge functions exactly like an Xbox console, at least for me. It takes up way too much space, it's got no actual disk drive, and it's surprisingly loud. And most importantly, I only use it to store one actual game. To make this comparison fair, I've assembled 2 of the industry's biggest competitors. On one side, Microsoft's Xbox mini fridge. On the other, some fridge. This is a Frigidaire mini fridge. Unlike the Xbox fridge, this one was apparently designed by people whose primary goal was refrigeration. No RGB, no branding, no references to Halo, no attempt whatsoever to make me feel cool while also being cool. It simply keeps things cold, which, to be fair, is a refrigerator's entire job description. Just like mine is... Oh. So let's compare them. The Frigidaire holds maybe 4 drinks, if you're lucky, or 8 Wii games. Microsoft's promotional material showed it filled with drinks, which is fair because that's pretty much all it comfortably holds. Dr. Pepper? Great. String cheese? Absolutely. Yogurt? No complaints. A full grocery run? Not unless you're shopping for a family of 3 action figures. Let's see what actually fits. Some beers. Some Pockies. A GameCube. Some GameCube games. Some Cube games. Some balls. The results were mixed. The Frigidaire wins. The Xbox fridge isn't outrageously loud, but it definitely lets you know it's thinking. The sound of progress, and a $400 electricity bill. Sometimes I'll be editing late at night and hear a mysterious humming from across the room. It's either the fridge or the beginning of a haunting. Unfortunately, it can't run Luigi's Mansion, so... My GameCube would be perfect if it could only keep my meat cool! This is where things get complicated, because the Frigidaire is objectively the better desktop mini fridge. But the Xbox is objectively the better conversation starter. Nobody walks into a room and says, "Howdy, m'lady, nice Frigidaire, you fit a lot of bapples on that thing?" People absolutely walk into my room and asks why I own an Xbox refrigerator. Usually with concern. I think they're just making sure I'm okay because I'm a Nintendo fan. That's why. So after extensive testing, I've reached a conclusion. The Frigidaire is the better refrigerator. The Xbox refrigerator is the better Xbox refrigerator. And somehow I think both companies would be equally happy with that outcome. The Xbox mini fridge wasn't an isolated incident. If anything, it was proof that gaming appliances could actually sell. And once companies realized that, the floodgates opened. Because if gamers would buy a refrigerator, they'd buy the same thing again, but instead of cold bread, it runs default bread! Of course, Microsoft wasn't finished with refrigerators. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this video, it's that once a company realizes people will buy gaming appliances, they don't stop at one. Enter the Xbox Series S toaster. And unlike the Razer toaster, this one actually exists. And I sold my Series S in order to buy this thing, because I knew that in in 10 years, I would probably get more out of this thing than a paperweight. Now, to Microsoft's credit, they didn't just stick an Xbox logo on the side and call it a day. They went the extra mile. This thing actually brands the Xbox logo directly onto your toast, which sounds cool until you realize you've essentially paid extra money to advertise Xbox to yourself every morning. I don't really know who this is for, because if you're enough of an Xbox fan to buy the Xbox toaster, I don't think the bread needed convincing. It's just another reminder that somewhere along the line, game companies stopped asking, how do we improve games? And started asking, what else can we put a logo on? So what wouldn't they buy? The answer appears to be absolutely nothing. Which brings us to the Creeper and TNT mini fridges. I like this thing, not because it's practical, not because it's subtle, but because it completely commits to the bit. The Xbox fridge at least tries to blend into a room. The Creeper fridge has no interest in blending in. It's the ultimate gamer aesthetic, which is to say, it looks completely insane inside a normal house. But not my normal house. Most refrigerators are designed to preserve food. This one feels designed to preserve anxiety. Opening this for a late night snack is like playing Russian roulette with a $100 bill in a dream. And yet somehow that's exactly why it exists. Gamer products have always been about self-expression. Controllers, posters, consoles, and collectibles all serve as ways to show off what you're interested in. The TNT fridge then takes that idea to its logical conclusion. It asks, what if your beverage storage was also a pretend bomb? And apparently enough people answered yes to that question that somebody manufactured it. The same Microsoft somebodies that manufactured the other crazy thing. Studying these products led me to a troubling realization. Nintendo is falling behind. Microsoft has refrigerators, a lot of refrigerators. PC gamers nearly got a toaster. Xbox moms accidentally bought a toaster. Nintendo fans have an alarm clock. Where are the Nintendo appliances? Where's the GameCube deep freezer? The handle's already there. Think about it. Nintendo has been sitting on appliance gold mines for decades. The Wii microwave practically designs itself. Instead of pressing buttons, you shake the food. Every Hot Pocket becomes a QuickTime event. Burn your hand? Skill issue. And where is the Nintendo Entertainment System toaster? 2 bread slots? Local multiplayer breakfast? I don't even want these products. I just want the opportunity to make bad financial decisions. I'm a Nintendo guy. It's common knowledge to every man, woman, and child on Earth that humanity invented agriculture nearly 12 million years ago. Then came written language, then electricity, flight, computers, space travel, and after thousands of years of innovation, we have reached technology's greatest accomplishment. Watching Twitch on a refrigerator. Enter the smart fridge. It's the only piece of hardware that costs $3,000 and can also tell you when your milk is expiring. It's also the only piece of hardware that I will not commit to buying for a video. Is it the future of gaming? Or have we finally reached the end of human progress? If gaming appliances represent one strange branch of technology, smart refrigerators represent another entirely. Because modern refrigerators have become alarmingly ambitious. Touchscreens, Wi-Fi, voice assistants, internal cameras, app stores. I can understand why my computer has software updates. I can understand why my phone has software updates. I still don't know how to emotionally process the sentence, my refrigerator needs to restart. Refrigerators stopped being appliances and started becoming computers. Imagine explaining that to someone in 1950. Sorry, honey, I can't get milk right now. The fridge is updating. See ya, witch. I've seen smart refrigerators run Doom. I've seen them browse the internet. I've seen them display recipes, calendars, weather reports, and video streams. I can watch a tutorial about making eggs while simultaneously checking a live camera feed of the eggs I forgot to buy. The future is amazing and deeply concerning. Now we also have things like the Heineken, the gaming fridge. A fridge that's also a PC. It holds 12 to 16 beer bottles. Mine only holds water. The Fallout fridge. And who could forget El Clasico, the Juggernog. These are self-explanatory. A lot of these fridges look pretty cool because they look just like something that is made up and not real. You know what else is made up and not real? Everything ever. So have you noticed how every company wants to be like every company now? Microsoft is making refrigerators, Nintendo's making alarm clocks. At this rate, my next dentist appointment will probably be sponsored by Sony. And that's probably a good thing with how much Mountain Dew you'll be drinking with this right by your gaming PC. Honestly, some of these refrigerators even had a better game library than some Nintendo consoles did in their heyday. Because the Wii U had like, what, 3 games a year while it was in its prime? Meanwhile, this thing can fit all 5 varieties of Dr. Pepper. So, who's really winning? Still my dentist. The funny thing about gaming appliances is that none of them really solve a problem. The Xbox mini fridge doesn't revolutionize refrigeration, the Creeper fridge doesn't improve beverage storage, and the Razer toaster still would have just been a toaster. Are these good fridges? Not really. Are they good gaming accessories? Also no. But am I going to keep my snacks in something that looks like an explosive? Absolutely. But that's never really been the point. Gaming stopped being a hobby a long time ago. For a lot of people, it's part of their identity. And companies figured out that if someone likes a game enough, they'll probably enjoy seeing it represented somewhere outside the screen. Sometimes that's a poster, sometimes it's a collectible, other times that is a refrigerator. So do these fridges make the room look better? Honestly, no. They make it look like I live in a GameStop. But there is a certain level of charm in this level of commitment to the bit. I mean, that's pretty cool, you gotta admit. It exists just because it can. Mamphy, you want a baffle?